What's going on, everybody? Double Check FX Sports Code coming at you with another video. Shout out to all who have liked and subscribed to the channel thus far. I do appreciate all the likes and subscribes. Just wanted to recap before we go into a breakdown video of the final game of the wild card round. It pays to double check, right? So we ended up finding too much overwhelming evidence that Green Bay was not going to move on. And that's the thing with this work is you have to be willing to adjust when you find something that just adds up more. And, with Philadelphia recently, I feel like there's just too many things that are adding up for Philadelphia Chiefs rematch. Again, you can make an argument that, I've heard things about the Ravens too. So again, but I think it's solid to say that the Eagles are going to represent the NFC now. And it's pretty overwhelming. So with that being said, with the Packers loss last night, it was a really good riddle for the Commanders to win. So if you had the Commanders to win, that was really good. You should have, they were the underdogs. So if you picked them, great job for you guys. And today, wanted to focus on this game. I was going to make this video a couple days ago, but decided to wait till the day of in the State Farm Tribute Wildcard game. Now, notice today is January 13th. Again, written 113. Very important for Kobe Bryant. So this commercial, which aired on the Super Bowl, highlights Arnold Schwarzenegger and State Farm. Now, why is that ironic is that, the Rams who are evacuating the Pacific Palisades fire, are taking refuge at State Farm. There's a lot of irony here, but it foreshadowed, this commercial really foreshadowed the event because the first clip of the commercial is this, right? The house is on fire. Agent State Farm, like a good neighbor, he would repeat that over and over throughout the clip. And, the house is on fire, and lo and behold, here we are. The Rams are vacating to, State Farm. And, there's also a video of him flying over the mountain range, where the fires were taking place in the Pacific Palisades there. So this commercial really foreshadowed this event. And it's crazy how it kind of came to fruition. I immediately thought of this and wanted to make this video right away. I want to play the commercial. You can go ahead and watch it yourself. Just Super Bowl commercial, State Farm, Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, the governor of California, right? So he kept saying things like Choppa and all these, ridiculous sayings that he has. So again, it all foreshadowed this event, which sets up an interesting, thing about the earthquake, right? They needed an excuse, for, celebrities to vacate the California area, which, Amplified Truth talks about in his videos. Go out and subscribe to his channel about the upcoming earthquake. And they needed a reason for the, celebrities to vacate. And, what better way than to take out their houses and, it's an excuse, for them to get out. So before I get too deep into that, I just wanted to show you this before we kind of dive into the video today about today's game and why I like a certain narrative. And again, it also has to do with twins. In the second commercial, it also shows Danny DeVito. And of course, he was his twin in the 1988 film Twins, right? So in the second commercial, Danny DeVito appears with a burning house fire as well, which ties into what we've been talking about all season, right? And here are my notes for the game and why I like the Vikings to win against the Los Angeles Rams. So, the wild card weekend can begin with the LA loss and it can end with an LA loss. I think they lose both of them. Usually when there's a disaster, it's not looking good for the team. Again, you can make an argument for the Astros in 2017 World Series, but other than that, it's usually takes a while for things to come true. So let's take a look at my notes here. Super Bowl 11, of course, we talked about John Madden. He won 32-14. The Vikings can pick up their 32nd loss against Philadelphia to finish this postseason 1-1. Again, Madden defeated the Vikings in Super Bowl 11 by that final score. And as you see, their current playoff record is 21-31, right? So if they pick up one win and one loss, they will be at 22-32. And of course, the word twins equals 22 and 32 conveniently. Now, the Vikings can pick up their 22nd playoff win today to attribute the Twins. And they can pick up their win at the State Farm Stadium, right? And then when they go on and inevitably win today and go into the next game, it will be their 1000th 40th game of all time, right? For the 14, the 1-4, the 41 in reverse. Again, attributing that, the Eagles are inevitably going to go 1-4 all time in the Super Bowl for the 14, right? And again, 105 is the 14th triangular number, big number for this season. Again, Vikings, Eagles, simply the 140 we just talked about, 14 equals 59, and the 666. Again, perfect code there for this today. Again, this is a very short code. I just wanted to kind of jump on and just show you guys, how they use the commercials with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor of California, the only really decent governor they had. A lot of talks of Gavin Newsom. They're upset with him and how they handled it. And, the fire. Again, a lot of people are talking about how Josh Allen is from Fireball, California. Yeah, okay. But I don't know. I mean, again, OJ Simpson just did, pass away, but I think that takes time. And, when they plant the seeds, it usually takes time for things to happen. I just don't see OJ being attributed just yet. But again, I think that could happen in the future, maybe next year or the following. Definitely could happen next year with it being in San Francisco with OJ. But for this season, I think again, I like the Eagles a lot to represent the NFC. And again, I'm still sticking with the Chiefs. I know a lot of people are on them. Again, Andy Reid, 66 years old. He could win the Super Bowl against San Francisco twice and Philadelphia twice. A bundle Ruski do, right? So I think that's what that means ultimately, But this is focused on today. The Vikings and the Rams, a lot of people are going to be feeling that emotional kind of response. Could LA pick up the emotional win, right? I just don't think they do. They're currently sitting on 650 wins all time. Again, Janice is 65, so I think they stay on that to tribute the Vikings. And this is what I thought was very interesting, this right here. With the Commanders the 6 seed and the Lions the 1 seed, the Vikings can move on as the 5 to face the 2. Now 61 plus 52 equals 113, right? And then if you reverse it, it's the number 1 seeded Lions versus the number 6 seed Commanders. And then the number 2 seed Eagles versus the number 5 seed Vikings. If you reverse it, 16 plus 25 equals 41. Where have we seen those numbers? Oh, yeah. Kobe Bryant, 113 and 41. So no matter how you look at it, he's there, right? Again, the day of his 5th year anniversary death will be on the day of the NFC Championship game. The Eagles can pick up their 666th win. Kobe Bryant scored 81 points in his 666th game. And if you notice the score of the Packers and Philly game, it was 10-22. He scored 81 points on January 22nd, 2006, in a 666 game. So, big Kobe Bryant tribute. Again, a lot of people are going to be thinking it's about LA. Again, I don't think so. The Lake of Fire, the land of 10,000 lakes of Minnesota. It's a trap. Arnold Schwarzenegger, get to the choppa. The first scene of this commercial is this on the day of the Super Bowl. I don't know. So I like this to happen today. I like the Eagles and the Vikings to square off in next week's game for the divisional round. Again, you have one team from the North one team from the NFC East on each side of the bracket, and ultimately I think the Eagles and Lions are going to face off. That's the game it's the game we've all been waiting for, Eagles, Lions. Again, I think, and if you took a look at Dan Quinn, last night, he kind of looks like an older version of Dan Campbell, but just with a backwards hat. I don't know if you saw that, and his name is his name is Dan. They kept showing him a lot last night, and I was just like, wow, this guy looks like Dan Campbell. I was just like, but he's older, and it was just weird. I was just like, is that Dan Campbell with a backwards hat and glasses? Strange. I was just looking at it. I was like, yeah, this makes sense. And they were just really toying with the Bucks there. They had him favored for a while, and then they took the lead, and it was just a bunch of, it was the Commanders the whole way. And then I like the Detroit Lions to move on to host the Eagles. Again, it's the best matchup, and again, I'm I'm not sure about the AFC. The Bills Ravens games can be interesting. That's going to tell us a lot. You know, um, obviously if the Bills win, I think it's going to be the Chiefs. But if it's the Ravens and Chiefs again, things makes things interesting. We may have to evaluate, but again, we'll pass that when we get there. But anyway, for today, I like the Vikings money line. I think it's minus 140 right now in a State Farm Tribute wild card game, and they knock out the Los Angeles Rams. Double check effect sports code coming at you guys with another video. Stay tuned. I'm going to be making some more picks here along the journey. We're going to be segueing into the NBA and NHL season. I know that's going to be the primary thing we focus on. Again, we've talked a lot about the Dallas Stars, and I'm going to be going ahead and doing some research on the NBA finals. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and take care.